Hello and welcome to round 10 of the 2017 Formula Virtual season here from Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. My name is Brett Downton and I'll be joined today by Harry Westwood.
Hello again.
Let's take a look through the grid then for the 2017 Belgian V-Prix. It's once again an all Downton front row. Nathaniel Powers heading Klaas van Snelheid. Arden Hutchinson is third with Adrian Simon alongside. Carl Beckenbauer on his debut for North Star is in 5th place ahead of Timo Kinnaman. Enrico Ruiz is 7th with Olen Inman, the star of the wet qualifying, in 8th for fun. Butcho Giordano and Elroy Wagner round out the top 10 ahead of the two Holmqvists, Ellington leading Dwyer. Will Hoskins and Alar Kanga with his penalty from the last race are on row 7 ahead of Finn Schneider and Alexander Zazolya. Judson Sykes was disappointed with 17th and how far he was behind his teammate ahead of Johan Helsen, Felix Baer and Carson Davenport rounding out the top 20. On row 11 the two Ingrams of Milkovic and Matson, row 12 is Harrison and Harding, and at the back the two Ocelots, Jochen van Snelheid and debutant Alexei Nowosinski. So as we go down to the grid then, Nathaniel Powers on pole position on the left, Klaas van Snelheid second on the right. The lights go out now and we're racing in Belgium. It's a great start from the pole sitter Powers. Klaas is slightly coming under attack from Arden Hutchinson, but he's going to hold on to second place. Hutchinson holds third ahead of Adrian Simon. Behind him, Ruiz and Beckenbauer go wheel to wheel for fifth, but it's Powers and Klaas up front pulling away. They've already got a gap as they go through Eau Rouge and up over Radion for the first time. Klaas van Snelheid in the slipstream of Nathaniel Powers then as they head down the Kemmel Straight. It was a fantastic start and getaway from the line for the Brit, but his young Dutch teammate is right in his slipstream now. Is he going to go around the outside? He is! Klaas van Snelheid takes the lead of the Belgian V-Prix.
Wow, that was sensational driving from Klaas. Obviously, he dropped the ball a bit on the start. It looked like he just got a bit bogged down, but wow, that overtake around the outside was beautiful.
Absolutely brilliant driving there from the Dutchman in what is an effective home race for him. Obviously, we do have the Dutch V-Prix scheduled in a couple of races. Still not sure if that's going to absolutely happen yet, so I think he's counting this as his home race for now. Olen Inman has already fallen back quite a way from his 8th place start. But wow, what an overtake!
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not very often you see an overtake around the outside on obviously your teammate, because when you've got the same grip it doesn't seem like the logical thing to do, but he just found the grip on the outside. Worth noting a really good start from Ruiz as well, who is already... Wait, did he start behind Giordano?
Ruiz started 7th, so yes.
Yes, so he's already jumped his teammate and Timo Kinnaman there.
Cracking start then from the Brazilian. Sorry, I was just free off for a second. So, as we complete the first lap here in Belgium then, Klaas van Snelheid leads from Nathaniel Powers. The two Downtons already with over a second back to Arden Hutchinson is third, as Judson Sykes relegates Olen Inman a place further. The Monegasque already lost 5 places on the opening lap of this race.
Yeah, he's not having a good time, and I think he probably rues being put on the hard tyres for this race.
Yes, that's a good point. The strategy we will come to in a moment, as Powers in the slipstream of his teammate and rolls reversed.
Here comes
on
Ellington.
Lap 2.
Ellington just getting ever closer to that Franklin, who's dropping off of Kinnaman and Ruiz actually.
Yeah, I think that's Butcho Giordano, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
As Alexei Nowosinski is already in the pits then, so the pole, who has moved from North Star to Ocelot as of this race, is already in stripe on the opening lap.
Oh dear, we'll have to see what happened, because clearly the only reason could be damage, so hopefully we'll get a replay of that soon.
Absolutely, so sorry, bear with me.
Can't do it. I won't do it.
So Hutchinson then in third, being hounded by Adrian Simon with Carl Beckenbauer there, solid lead in fifth. Beckenbauer's been absolutely on the pace all weekend.
Oh yeah, he's looked so much more settled in his new car already, and I've never seen really, with a move like this, a driver take to a car so well.
No, absolutely sorry. I'm going to cut across you there because Nathaniel Powers is right in the wheel tracks of Class 1 Shanghai then as they head in and round the bus stop chicane. And I don't think Powers is going to take this one line down as Class sets the fastest lap. But it is swiftly beaten by his British teammate.
Yeah, so those two are already going hammer and tong. Hopefully that's going to be a real battle to watch throughout the race.
Certainly will be, as the two Holmqvist then, they're not going to go wheel to wheel into Eau Rouge, are they? They are! And Dwyer has to back out of it.
It's the clever thing to do. Obviously that was only ever going to end in contact, and well, it doesn't look good when you take your teammate out going through Eau Rouge. It's just not great for your CV, really.
No, absolutely. And we saw an accident, I think, as a result of two cars going side by side through Eau Rouge here last year, didn't we? Which actually took Lucio Giordano out of all 3 races. Was it a side by side, or did he just have?
I think he just lost it. I'm not sure. We'll have to get someone with a better memory on that.
Yeah, mine really isn't the best.
No, I would have to agree with you there, that yours isn't the best. Mine's not bad either, but you know.
Right, as oh, here we are then. This is so that's what happened to Helsinki.
That's never good for the car. Oh wow, he's just that's what you call a rough day.
Yeah, that wasn't the best start to his career at North Star, was it?
No, he could have probably done better. I won't lie, Bradley.
But to be fair, he was kind of squeezed into the wall there a little bit by the Ingram.
Well, yeah. I mean, I didn't see it, so I was just enjoying being judgmental.
Right. While we have this anyway, let's go through the tyre choices for the race. I mean, it's slightly academic now. However, the only driver on the Super Softs was Alexei Helsinki. The only driver on the hards is Olin Inman. We have 5 cars on the mediums in Lewis Ellington, Will Hoskins, Alexander Zolia, Felix Bayer and Carson Davenport, and therefore by default, as you worked out, the rest are on the soft tyres. Probably the quickest run through of tyre choices we've ever done.
Yeah, that was just a nice simple breakdown.
Who's that then? That's Hoskins and Harrison, I think, battling over 16th place.
Exhilarating stuff at the back.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I was kind of expecting a bit more action in these opening laps.
Yeah, it's been a tad dull. Well, besides the opening lap with that lovely overtake, but
a tame start to the race.
Yeah, you could say that.
I just did.
Well, you know what? You did.
I tell you what we could, as Powers is in the wheel tracks once again in the Class 1 Schnellheit as they head through Blanchimont and down into the bus stop chicane. Is he going to consider a move here? He's not, no, but he's certainly not letting Class get away with this one, as the two of them have absolutely dropped the rest of the field.
Yeah, he's just still applying on that pressure on the young Dutchman, hoping to force a mistake, which we know that Class is prone to.
Yes, we have seen that this season, but also Nathaniel has made his fair share.
Say that.
As is this Inman losing more places?
Probably.
Yeah, there goes 19th place to James Harding and 20th to Felix Bayer.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that's not worked at all, has it?
No. You can admire the ambition, but you could just see that car, even through Eau Rouge, is just understeer. So much understeer, it just won't turn in.
Yeah, massively.
Might be due to, obviously we had some wet conditions slightly in qualifying yesterday. And so maybe he's just, because he's had to carry over the wet setup he ran, that's just causing a bit of a loss of front end grip. Who knows? I don't know.
Well, it's a
valid hypothesis.
I don't even know what I was trying to say.
Neither do I. Nobody does, Bradley. Nobody does.
So Adrian Simon then, still hassling Arden Hutchinson for third place. He seems as though he's maybe holding some of the field up here slightly.
Ruiz is right on the gearbox of Karl Beckenbauer here though. He's looked like he's got a bad run out of that middle sector. I forgot what it was called. Is he going to make a move? No. Exciting stuff.
Yeah, I was expecting him to be a bit more bullish in these open laps, especially on on the likes of Beckenbauer, who you could say was, given where Sykes is, he's looking at down the inside of turn 1. Ooh, did he brush the wall there?
I think he did, because he was forced to kind of turn in, because obviously Beckenbauer luckily saw him coming at the last minute and avoided him, but that's a very reckless dive there from Enrique Ruiz, and he looks like he's got a bad run all the way up through Eau Rouge now, and he's under attack from Timo Kinnaman.
Yeah, as Nathaniel Powers draws alongside Klaas Renschnauer for the lead, and into Lecombe is taking it back then.
Showing his younger teammate how it's done, almost really pinching on the apex, but just about left him enough space.
Yeah, as further behind them, Kinnaman didn't quite manage to make the move on Enrique Ruiz, but Powers gets revenge for the overtake that Klaas pulled 5 laps ago, and he's back out in front here in Belgium.
Yeah, as we see Zazolia trying to make moves, but just getting cut off, yeah.
I think Zazolia and Schneider are an awful lot quicker than Judson Sykes here at the moment.
Just a tad. They look a bit stuck, don't they? Ooh, Klaas has dropped off a bit this lap. He looks like he's been a bit unsettled by his teammates' overtake.
Yeah, it just, he just needs to recompose himself, and he'll get back on it. I think luckily for them, they have quite a gap.
Yeah, I mean, worst will finish was second. Unless...
It does seem that way, doesn't it?
I mean, we're 6 laps in and they're already just out of sight. We're not going to see them again. These guys are going to think they're fighting for the lead.
Sorry?
These guys are going to think they're fighting for the lead. Where are the Downtons? What are the Downtons? We haven't seen them in about 50 years.
I don't know, I'm sure you'll just see them at the end of... Oh, maybe not.
Nope.
Still no.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, whatever. There we go. Over Radion as the other rest of the field are just exiting the source.
Did you call it the source?
La Source.
Oh, I thought you said...
No, turn 1 hairpin.
Teams are exiting the source.
Turn 1 hairpin, La Source.
I do know what it's called. I just thought you said the source instead of La Source. Oh, we got Allard Kanga trying to make a move now on Harding. I mean, Wagner doesn't pull it off.
No, he doesn't. I think it's it seems trickier for them to overtake on the inside here. As, to be fair, it has proved in quite a lot of places this season. It seems to be easier to drive around the outside of someone. As further towards the back then, we have Bayer and Halverson. And I think that was Felix Bayer defending his position.
It was.
Ooh. No idea. Moving on.
So this train then still becoming something of a procession, if you will.
Yeah, running from 3rd down to 11th place really. Wagner clinging on to the back of it as Simon has got a fantastic run now then.
What good thing that he's just backed off.
No, but right up the gearbox of Arden Hutchinson through Blanchimont. And surely he's got to have a look at making a move down into the bus stop chicane as we cut back to Alar Kanga on Elroy Wagner. And Simon is side by side with Hutchinson as they exit the chicane, but the better drive with the Austrian, and he holds on to his third place. Simon though, Hutchinson is defending the inside line to La Source. Simon wide, and surely he's going to get a better exit now as they head down the drag down to Eau Rouge, but it's actually given Carl Beckenbauer a better run.
This could see a three-way battle for third place.
And Beckenbauer has had a fantastic run through Eau Rouge and up over Radion, closing all the time down the Camel Straight on Adrian Simon as we cut back to watching some funds over the start-finish line. And at the end of the day, nothing doing into Lacoon.
No.
Oh, but Kanga is around the outside of Elroy Wagner and up into 11th place.
Wagner was just all over the place in the way into Lacoon, and he just lost the place. He just didn't look like he had any confidence in the car.
Yeah, the back end was really trying to scoot away from him there.
Absolutely, but a good move from the Estonian up into 11th place. Audience is having to bear with me because everything takes me at least 3 times as long as the average human.
Well, certain things.
So Klaas is just tagging along, hanging on to the coattails of Nathaniel Powers, but not really able to apply the same pressure that he was enduring from his teammate. That was hard to sentence.
It's alright, we understood what you were getting at.
That's alright, that's all I wanted, man.
So, as we head on to lap 9 here in Belgium, then Nathaniel Powers leads from Klaas van Snelheid, while Arden Hutchinson still has quite a train behind him. However, it now ends with Hugh Dwyer because the little scrap between Kanga and Wagner has dropped them ever so slightly off this pack.
Slightly. Kanga is rapidly closing there.
Well, yeah. I mean, I should imagine he's probably quite a bit quicker than Hutchinson, as all of these guys are.
Yeah, Hutchinson, I don't know, that first just looked really mighty in the last few races, but it just doesn't seem, Hutchinson, he's holding third place, so still got good pace, but he just doesn't, he looks to be struggling somewhat.
Yeah.
Unless he's just controlling the pace.
Yeah, I mean, it could be that. He could just be looking after the tyres. We've seen it.
Kanga's already caught up. Oh, because Zoli are trying to make moves on the inside down at Lacoum. He can't quite do it, as we've seen several times. The inside line is not fab through there. He goes really aggressive into turn something. Rivage. Is that Rivage? Then it's the corner with no name.
That's not what my TrackMag says.
The TrackMag.
Yeah, that one. However, it doesn't. But do you know it could be? I don't know.
Oh well. So we're going to be approaching a third of the way through the race soon.
Let's go with yes. Hang on, a third?
Yeah, we're almost 15 laps in. Well, a bit of a push.
I was expecting you to go with the quarter. Oh, as Klaas van Snelheid sets the fastest lap, as he does look to have visibly closed back up onto his teammate.
Yeah, so it looks like he's been able to drop the hammer this lap. Now he's in the slipstream, should find himself gaining heaps of time down the Camel Straight. Fun fact, I used to think it was actually called the Camel Straight, and I called it such for about 3 or 4 years.
That's brilliant. As we see, Alar Kanga is now onto the back of Hugh Dwyer, so this train that Hutchinson has, although there's a bit of a gap now between Kinnaman and Giordano starting to form.
Yeah, Puccio looking like he's just dropping off a little bit.
Once again, the Italian proving I mean, not here, obviously, he was out qualified by Ruiz here, but primarily he's got very, very good qualifying pace, but when it comes to the race, it kind of fades away a little bit.
Yeah, it just starts dropping off. He might have just had a bad lap, hopefully, but it looks like it's done the damage and he's descended it back into the clutches of the Holmqvists and Kanga, so he's going to have to work hard to break out of that now.
Yeah, certainly will. As while we have a little bit of a procession running around at the moment, then, I think it's a good point to mention that on Thursday, prior to this weekend, we had the return of the team principal's press conference.
Yeah, man, it was dope.
Which we were both invited to.
We were indeed.
Were you there? I can't remember if you were there.
I was invited due to...
Yeah, we won't go into that. We were both invited along. I think it was
closing on
as Nathaniel Powers now sets the fastest lap just to extend his advantage.
Giordano really losing time hand over fist now. Maybe he's, I don't know, I'd like to say maybe he's got a problem, but yes, the press conference.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think it was a fantastic event for everyone involved, and even those not involved.
Yeah, it really was. It's what I've always loved about it when we used to do it every race is that it really not only brought the sport sort of closer to you in terms of you got to see the whole process, but you get to almost get inside the minds of the guys running these teams, which is quite a fascinating insight in some personalities.
Yeah, it certainly is, and what drew me onto this was obviously the conversation we were having on Giordano, and just the comments that were made by his current team principal, James Franklin. When he was asked about how well he felt Puccio was doing, he's been with the team for 6 races and only managed to score 24 points because 3 of his races have resulted in retirements. And he did comment that while the team will support him as much as possible, it's no secret that a driver is bigger than the team. It's no secret that no driver is bigger than the team, sorry. So delivering consistent results is important if he wants to remain with the team. Now, I'm not sure what to read into that, and I don't know whether that's indicating this season, and whether Franklin are maybe looking at getting someone else in the car before the end of the year, as they're in at the moment currently a pretty fierce fight for 3rd place in the constructors, with obviously yourselves, Westwood, and first, or whether that's an indication that there's the opportunity for Giordano to hang around at Franklin next season.
Yeah,
but to do so, he needs to provide better results.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Giordano's a great driver, and so Jamie's always will leave the door open for him, but only for so long. He's got to start getting the job done in order to justify Jamie holding that position for him. Otherwise, he will give it away. And we've seen he's become infamous for his ruthlessness and I was going to say ruthality, and I thought that's not a word. For his ruthlessness when it comes to the driver market. So Giordano's definitely got to start working a lot harder to, like I say, get that seat next year, which for all we know could be a championship winning seat, because Franklin have never not been at the front.
No, they certainly haven't, and I think, I mean, we're assuming Ruiz is going to stay with the team.
Yeah.
If we look at the sort of obviously the DS Matthew and Franklin as obviously not quite this season, but probably the top 2 teams overall in Formula Virtual history. Both of them have, well, obviously Ruiz, we haven't had any official announcement yet, but we should imagine he's going to hang on. Simon has just been confirmed to DS Matthew. Both teams currently have a seat vacant for next season. DS Mafshore, as Klaas van Snelheid is suddenly all on his own. What has
Powers is
happened to
pitted.
Nathaniel Powers? Oh, he's pitted.
That's the little pit thing up the top of the screen. That's
I
what that
didn't
means.
see that.
Hutchinson's in the pits.
Ah, so
we've
is
got a
Beckenbauer, so
whole
they're all
rush now.
flooding in now then. Kinneman and Giordano. Where is Powers going to feed back out? Is he going to get back out ahead of Adrian Simon? No, not by a long way.
No, and it looks like this pit stop is throwing him back into a lot of traffic.
I don't know, not quite. If he can...
Oh, yeah,
he's
managed
just
to get
got out ahead of Ellington, as most of the field, obviously all on the same strategy on the softs, are into the pits now. Powers just slots into it's a small gap between Ellington and Ruiz. Now that's
it's
crucial.
a long stop for these two. They got held.
Oh, that's Judson Sykes and Finn Schneider.
It is indeed. So where has Zollier gone? So he hasn't pitted yet.
No, well, Zazzolia is running on the mediums. So our talk of the 2018 driver market can take a back seat. I was just going to say, crucial that Powers got out ahead of Ellington, because Lewis Ellington is running on the medium tyres, so will not be pitting for a while.
Side by side through a rouge, and it looks like someone's lost the front wing there. Sorry to cut across you. I think that was I didn't see which driver it was, but it looked like
There was a Meteor
Fun.
involved.
Well, there we go. There's a Fun and Meteor involved.
So that has
was,
to be Harrison and Davenport.
You're absolutely right. So I believe Davenport might have lost his front wing.
And he has just fallen behind Harrison as well. So we'll keep an eye on that then, as Hugh Dwyer attacks Felix Bayer, trying to make up ground, because Bayer as well is on the medium tyres and will not be pitting anytime soon, so this is an overtake that needs to happen. Dwyer is losing ground now to Puccio Giordano ahead. It's Nathaniel Powers right on the back of Enrique Ruiz as Klaas van Snelheid dives into the pit. So who? As Simon spins, Ruiz spins as well at the final corner, and Simon's trying to get into the pit. Powers has gone around the outside, and the two of them have collided. Here at the final corner in Belgium, Simon has spun Powers round into the wall. Nathaniel Powers is going to recover, but he's surely lost the lead now to Klaas van Snelheid. He's stuck in the middle of the track. He's trying to get it going again. He does, but who's that that's gone through? Hutchinson has gone through then.
Oh no.
As Adrian Simon is in the wall, and I should imagine probably out of this race.
Ruiz has lost a heap of time from this incident as well. Simon, what are you doing, man? And again, DS Mafshore unable to catch a break. Looks like they're going to lose their only driver in the points. Oh no. That was just an absolute It was just a shambles. That was...
Yeah, so what? So Simon just lost it. Obviously, the tyres have got to the point where they've got no grip left. Powers tried to avoid him by going around the outside, and Simon was just desperate to get into the pit lane. And the two of them just made contact.
All Simon would have had to do is slow up and then just dive into the pits. I mean... I imagine this... I don't even know if the stewards are going to look at that or not, if I'm honest.
It's well, I suppose you think back, it's very similar to what happens in Japan with Inman and Powers.
Yeah,
but obviously
very true.
that cost Powers an awful lot more. Although having said that, we haven't yet had a complete lap, so we don't know if Powers picked up any damage and will be forced to pit again.
Oh god, absolutely. Oh yeah, I hadn't even thought of that actually.
I mean, when did he come in initially? Lap 12. As Klaas van Snelheid then goes past Lewis Ellington on the medium tyres and retakes the lead. That's important, because you'd assume on the mediums Ellington will make one less stop. This is Powers now then. Is he? No, he's alright, so he's not having to pit then as a result of any potential damage that was picked up as that. As Carl Beckenbauer goes past Will Hoskins and Arden Hutchinson sets the fastest lap, but it's swiftly beaten by Nathaniel Powers as he looks to recover.
Absolutely. See Timo Kinnaman making moves on, Felix Bayer. Ruiz is next. He's in to try and get past Bayer.
Yeah, so Crikey, it's all kicked off here then, hasn't it?
Yeah. And the big winner out of all of this, of course, is Hutchinson. He's gained loads of time in the pit stops.
Yeah, and up into what is in net second. Never mind. I was going to say what is in net second place, but he's just been overtaken somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was going to be a particular shock that Powers was going to make his way past Hutchinson, but there you go. So the pit stops were around laps 12 and 13, which means it's going to be...
Yes, Giordano, sorry, I
12.
just want to point this out. Giordano, we were discussing before the stops. He's lost a hell of a lot of time here. He's behind Judson's sights.
Yeah, you're right, actually.
What has gone on there?
Maybe it was Giordano that was caught up in the incident. No, because he didn't get held up for very long.
Yeah, no, because I remember actually he'd already pitted, hadn't he? And he was ahead of Hugh Dwyer. So something has happened since the pit stop for Giordano.
Well, hopefully we'll get a replay of that, because that's very odd.
As Klaas, wow, what a lap from Klaas van Snelheid.
I think he's smelling opportunity, Bradley, and he's putting his foot down and hoping to just get out of the clutches of his teammate.
Yeah, that was a message to Powers of, you are not coming back at me, son, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we're on lap 16. Now, the soft runners pitted on laps 12 and 13, which means that we're going to be looking at a 3-stop strategy for them.
Yeah.
The medium runners have already made it to 2-stop territory. If they can push their cars, I know it would be tricky, but another 6 long laps here, then they'll be on a 1-stop, and, well, the ball will really be in their court. I forgot the phrase.
Yeah, it certainly would be, but
Ooh,
that would be
Wagner,
10 laps longer
back
than the soft-tired runners. I can't see that happening, to be honest here.
No.
As that has given Alar Kanga a chance, and Kanga takes 2
Oh.
places in 1! What a
That was-
fantastic move from the Estonian!
You cheeky boy. That was beautiful. Sometimes opportunism yields more than other stuff. I was going to sound really cool, but then I didn't. So he's up into the points, I think.
And let's take a look then, sorry, on board with Alar Kanga. Elroy Wagner was caught behind Will Hoskins, and Kanga just goes round the pair of them.
Yeah, and they'll be a little bit red-faced in their cockpits, but I think looking at how far ahead he's got, Kanga's gotten already, again, that wasn't a shock to them.
No, he's clearly got the pace, hasn't he? And I'm sure that will bring a little bit of joy back to the DS Master Garage after, as I should imagine they're probably pretty gutted down there at the moment.
Yeah, I can imagine they would be, Bradley. It's a tricky incident. Like you can see he wanted to go in the pits, but at the same time you can't drive into other cars. As we got Wagner, ooh, very late move down the inside on Felix Bayer.
Will Hoskins, sorry.
Same person, different car.
Nah, not quite. No, different person, same
move.
car.
And he's going very wide now into turn 1.
Oh, and I think there was contact there.
Yeah, I think I saw a bit of bodywork flying off of that car. Got which one?
As we've got Timo Kinnaman now, right up behind Carl Beckenbauer. So this is the fight for what is now a net 4th place.
Yeah, obviously the man leaving Westwood, chasing down the man who'll be joining them next year.
Crikey, well, how do you want that one to play out?
I do not feel obligated to comment at this juncture. Obviously, I think we know how I want that to play out.
Come on then, Beckenbauer.
That wasn't what I was going for.
Oh, Christ, you don't want your future driver to do well. Wow.
I'm in a fight for 3rd in the championship at the moment. I mean, You know, there's only so much kind of, yeah, go on Beckenbauer I can afford before I start losing points.
So what have we got now then? We've got Klaas van Snelheid leading. Behind him are Lewis Ellington and Alexander Zolia, however, both running on the medium tyres. And
Zolia is really closed in on Ellington, actually.
Sorry?
I said to Zolia, who's really closed in on Ellington.
Yeah, I thought the gap was bigger than what we've just seen as well, to be honest.
It was rather mahoosive.
As Wagner then, is he going to have another crack at Will Hoskins? The German desperate to get past the Brit driving for AMR as Hoskins on now what are 18 lap old medium tyres. Wagner is on fresh softs. This it really shouldn't be this difficult.
No, but we saw earlier in the race Wagner didn't look very happy with the balance of the car, so it could be due to that.
Yeah, that's very possible. As just a thought, Dwyer lost out in the pit stops as well, didn't he?
Yeah, because he's got Schneider all over the back of him, and he was.
Well, he was not far behind Ruiz.
Very true. But then what happened to Dwyer? Because he wasn't even involved in the incident.
Well, no, but I'm just wondering if maybe we've had some contact between Dwyer and Giordano.
Do you know what? That wouldn't actually be a bad shout. Again, let's hope for a replay incident. There's Inman and Harrison going toe to toe. Oh my god, I actually got that right. No, it's Harrison. Damn it!
Oh, and you were so close and so pleased with yourself as well. Well, bless.
Rough down.
As Nathaniel Powers then has rapidly closed up onto the back of Alexander Zolia. I mean, okay, maybe it's expected. He's in what is probably the quickest car on fresh softs compared to warm medium, but you know.
Well, I don't think it'll be long before he puts a move on him, put it that way.
No, but hey, it's while it's not good for Powers' race at all, or championship, as his teammate is the main beneficiary of that, we might actually get to see some decent overtaking, which we've, well, to be fair, we've seen since the pit stop, but was lacking in the opening section of this race.
Yeah, I think we've seen that some, like, actually, you know what, we haven't. It's quite the opposite of what we've seen, where...
Oh, Dwyer then on the outside of Elroy Wagner. So Wagner's inability to pass Hoskins has really cost him here, and he now has Hugh Dwyer and Finn Schneider all over the back of him for 11th place.
He does, and it's going to be tricky. That's the best I could do. No,
well, you tried.
That's what counts.
Oh, as we're going to go 3 abreast down the Kemmel Straight then.
Schneider backs out of that one.
Is Dwyer going to take the pair of them? He's not. He's on the inside of Hoskins, and that's not quite going to work. But well, he's past Wagner.
That was almost rather tight. Oh, and he's already looking to make a move on Ellington. Round the outside, that's Hoskins. Round the outside anyway.
Oh, what a great move! On the outside of, around the outside of Ravage, and he was going so quickly there, he managed to go back in time a year and pass Lewis Ellington in the AMR.
Oh. Let's just move on from that.
As no, Lavlet, you've done it to me. Oh, Ellington has caught himself out in the final corner, and Zolia as well. They've both got out of Powers' way and dived into the pits.
But see, here's the thing, that they weren't. Oh, never mind. Oh no, they're going to lose a few places.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? There's wow, Kanga is right up with Enrique Ruiz already.
Now that is impressive. Like, you've got to give him credit for that.
Where are they going to feed back out in relation to Dwyer, I wonder? Where Dwyer's just quite far ahead. However,
there's going to be a small gap.
They have lost a considerable amount of time, the pair of them.
Yeah, and they'll be on 2 stoppers.
Although, actually, well, no. Ellington has lost time. Zozoli has gained it somewhere, because he was battling with Schneider, wasn't he?
Yeah, at the start of the stint. That's what we were talking about earlier, because Zozoli had closed in on him during that stint. There he is. Hang on, that doesn't make sense. Oh, that's Hutchinson.
That's Hutchinson backing Baron Kinnaman. Backing Baron Kinnaman have caught Hutchinson.
Wow, so that first is actually maybe looking not so strong at this track.
Yeah, not sure at all what's going on there.
They are having a bit of a rough time of it. Sinks down through 21st in the standings.
What is going on with Felix Bayer?
He's in a particularly uncompetitive AMR this year. Has he been re-signed for next year?
He has. He was the subject of quite an intense bidding war at the start of the season.
I can't remember if I was in that or not.
Pass.
No, that was Corey, I think. Conquest.
Yes, I think so. And AMR. And he's been re-signed, but he's been completely outclassed by Will Hoskins all season. Quite comprehensively.
Yeah, he has actually. He's really kind of struggled. We've not seen that with Bayer.
Yeah, I mean last year, Ellington,
he's always been
last year, Lewis Ellington, who was proving this season in the Holmquist that, you know, and he has proved in seasons before, he's not a bad driver, but last year, Bayer completely outclassed him and made him look rather silly.
He did.
This year,
he absolutely did.
Bayer has scored 9 points and Will Hoskins has 32.
Could be a cost reason, as we see Kanga trying to stick a move on Ruiz, who slams the door in his face. It could be due to cost. Obviously, AMR, they've probably given up on this season, let's face it. So they could just be looking for ways to cut their expenses. Because let's face it, Hoskins, whilst not a world champion, has certainly challenged for them and was the subject of a very expensive bid in 2014. And so he kind of still carries that kind of weight around when he negotiates his contracts a little bit. But he's getting a bit old now.
I love that, getting a bit old. He's what, 30?
No, not he's getting a bit old. The whole I nearly won the world championship thing.
Ah, but he did.
I mean, respect to him, he should have won. What, Hoskins?
Yeah.
He didn't win the world championship.
No, he did nearly win the world championship.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he should have won the world championship that year, except for some interesting strategies we won't go into.
Which I think we've discussed before at great length.
great length.
I thought you were going to add something else to that, but okay. The battle for third has reduced dramatically in size. It now seems to be between 3 cars, as Arden Hutchinson leads Carl Beckenbauer and Timo Kinnaman. As Ruiz and Kanga, they're not far behind, but they have slipped back from this battle now. The Estonian now really trying to hassle the Brazilian former world champion, who not particularly looking very at home here in Belgium. His teammates suffering even more. Giordano down in 12th, as the 2 highest medium place runners, Ellington and Zazoli, are currently circulating in 8th and 9th. As all we've got a run here then, Felix Bayer on Nikolai Milkovic. They head through Eau Rouge and up over Radion. Surely Bayer is going to be in the slipstream down the Camel Straight and will get a chance. Or is he going to go? He's going to pull out even alongside the Camel Straight, and surely Felix Bayer will be ahead well before they go into Les Combes, and he is. And Felix Bayer then is up into 19th place. as Klaas van Snelheid completes lap 22 to head into the second half of this race. Nathaniel Powers, the time that he lost earlier in that collision with Adrian Simon, is not quite even at the bus stop chicane by the time the Klaas is over the line. Meanwhile, behind them, the battles are closing up. Alar Kanga already. Actually, Ruiz is starting to close up to the back of Timo Kinnaman, so I wonder if we're very shortly going to get 5 in the scrap for third place. What would be interesting is if we could see the times that Ellington and Zazzoli were managing in comparison to those ahead. The two of them not really scrapping, but obviously on slower tyres, and they're not that far behind, but surely are going to make a pit stop less.
Yeah, obviously, I'm back, by the way. Having
wonderful.
Yeah. Having pitted later, obviously, they will most definitely be on a 2-stop. Their only stop left to make will be on lap 38-ish.
Who's
around that? The medium runners. I thought we were talking about those.
Ah, so that will be very similar to the lap that the soft runners in the pit on.
Yeah. Speaking of, they should be in the pits next lap or the lap after. Maybe even the lap after that. Between laps 24 and 26.
You sounded like an air hostess there.
Well, that was... What?
Your exits are here, here, and here.
I'd call you words if I could, but I can't because they're naughty and I'll get told off.
Yes, you will.
I always get told off for something in the race.
Yes, he does.
Honestly, I'm a bloody PR nightmare.
And I was just saying earlier at the start of this lap how it looks as though Ruiz and Kanga were maybe closing on the back of Kinnaman. And I think there you can visibly see it now, as Powers is into the pits already.
Oh, that's not... Well, I don't know, actually, it won't really make a difference. So he'll easily make it on a 3-stop, so he must just be going
to be
for
fair, that's just giving him the opportunity to run with fresher tyres, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's where Ellington and Zazzoli are. So they're not...
And that has not worked out at all. I think the intention there... Sorry?
He'll easily get past him.
He will, but it's time... It's going to cost him time that he didn't really have. As Giordano is in the pits as well. Oh boy, has his race gone south.
Yeah, he's...
Not that it really started particularly north, but... And Powers then already up past Zolia, just Ellington to deal with, but well, he won't be impressed with that at all. I think the intention there from Downton is probably to get him in a little bit early and out so that he can make the best use of the soft tyres, but he won't be pleased that he's been fed out into slower traffic. But yeah, pitting early means he can pit early again slightly next time round, and he won't have lots of tyre left at the end of his final stint like a lot of these guys probably will.
Yes. So sometimes you kind of just cover it right, so I don't really need to add my...
As Powers then is right on the back of Lewis Ellington as they head through Blanchimont. Klaas van Snelheid hasn't pitted. Oh, and spinning nearly goes Hutchinson.
And they're all going in the pits at the same time, so they've all chosen to blink at the exact same time.
Yeah, I wonder if that was just to kind of cover whatever the guy in front does for all three of them.
Yeah, I think the second they heard they saw Hutchinson spin, they thought, right, that's enough of that.
And Hutchinson's gained a lot of time there on Carl Beckenbauer.
Yeah,
and likewise on Kinnaman, so the three of them have really spread out, with Schneider in the pits as well. Powers is past Ellington on the run down from La Source into Eau Rouge.
Gotta say, that was a really close one there with Powers. He almost chopped Ellington into the wall.
Nearly, but he didn't, so it's alright.
I like how it still says Einarson on the car.
Where do any of the teams change the cars when they change drivers?
No, the trick is not to change your drivers, Bradley. I know all about that.
Well, so do I. Last few seasons.
Schneider's lost a lot of time to Dwyer somewhere.
Didn't that happen early on?
Didn't that happen early on? Don't know why that was necessary, sorry.
Wow, unbelievably rude.
What's new there? At least I'm honest with myself.
On a side note, Olin Inman's hard tide strategy, which didn't look like it was working earlier on, still doesn't look like it's working.
No.
He's 17th.
Oh, you savage.
However, I would say he's 17th, however, he hasn't pitted, but that doesn't make it any better. Now he's 18th and hasn't pitted.
Klaas van Snelheim pits from first place.
He does indeed. And will this give Enrique Ruiz the lead of the race?
Doesn't look like it.
Wow,
Jesus
Klaas is
Christ.
quite far ahead.
So wow.
No, Ruiz is
Never
going to
mind.
pit anyway.
That's
as is Alar Kanga behind him. Kanga up to 3rd place. I mean, obviously he's going to drop down slightly when he pits. As Powers sets a fastest lapper, 55.6.
What? That's like 3 seconds a lap faster than we were seeing. Are you sure?
Yeah, that was absolutely a 55.6.
Oh, this is going to be close coming out of the pit lane. I think he's going to gain a place over Kinnaman. Never mind.
No, actually, they've lost quite a bit of time.
Well,
no, Ruiz hasn't lost huge amounts, but I think basically that sort of gaggle of 5 is just spread out quite a bit.
Yeah, I think the way the teams operate with the rules in the pit lane, obviously nobody wants to get an unsafe release, so they kind of just give it a little bit extra time just to make sure that they've got that cushion, that gap, space, the final frontier.
Yes. So, what we have now then, everyone has just one more stop to make, don't they?
Yeah.
And 2 medium-tide runners, Ellington and Zazolia, are running 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, so they've got quite a lovely kind of cushy little spot they're sitting on at the moment, and they weren't, I don't know, they weren't too far behind the soft tide runners when they pitted. They were maybe a few corners behind, sure.
But I don't think it didn't look earlier like a strategy that was really going to work particularly well.
No.
However, well, now that the pit stops. However, Hutchinson's not that far behind.
No, I reckon that's a gap they can close.
Yeah, on the softer tyres, definitely. It'd be interesting to see how that one plays out towards the end of the race, but it will. But Lewis Ellington, though, is currently looking at what I believe would be his first podium, well, his first podium of the season, and his first podium that wouldn't be the top stack.
Yeah, obviously he won that race back in 2013, 14 in Spain.
He won both of them.
Wow, what an absolute laddie.
Yeah, he did. He won Spain 2013 and Spain 2014.
Oh yeah,
and hasn't stood on a podium at any point aside from that.
Well, he'll be hoping that he can 100% finish 3rd, because that's more exciting than a win. Almost as exciting as Aaron Ineson finishing 10th.
Hey, he got that point.
Pits, I think. No, Inman pits. I think. Therefore, I am.
Inman pitted?
I'm like 63.79% sure.
Indeed, he did.
See?
And there we go. So where's he going to rejoin? He's 21st. He's still 21st.
It's going to be
now
close,
he's 22nd. He's wheel to wheel with Milkovic. Oh, this is going to be exciting. No, never mind.
oh, Bradley.
I thought we were going to go wheel to, as Klaus van Snelheid then betters the fastest lap. I think this is, with the gap now between him and Powers, this is really the only thing they've got left to fight for, isn't it?
Yeah. Track temperature coming down now. Knippen closes up on the Beckenbauer and manages to drop Ruiz. That ain't half bad. Obviously, I'll say that because he's my driver, but...
Sorry, I was momentarily distracted. No, it wasn't a billboard.
It took my gosh darn joke.
So, I mean, now that we're kind of waiting for pit stops again, things have kind of levelled out a bit. So, shall we turn our talk back to the 2018 driver market? Although, Ala Kanga is down the inside of Enrico Ruiz, they head into the cone. Ruiz is going to hold it on the outside line, but, well, that move, I mean, it's been close, the Estonian, but that move came out of nowhere slightly.
Yeah, he's... I don't know, he's just mostly been putting pressure on the Brazilian, and then out of nowhere just decided, I should probably start trying to put my car in front of his. Is that how you score points? By finishing ahead of other people, I think.
Yes, it is. I have to say, once again, incredibly impressed by Kanga's race pace and craft.
Yeah. That was
he really, really needs to sort out his qualifying. It's, I mean, compared to where Adrian Simon is putting that car at points, woeful. I mean, he was in the top 10 here, 9th. He obviously ended up starting 14th because of the penalty he picked up last time out. But yeah, if Kanga could sort out his qualifying and be regularly in the top 4 or 5, I have every confidence that he would consistently be on the podium.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, to be fair, he did suffer a bit more in qualifying today because of his grid drop due to an incident last race, but if he, like say, can just get it down in qualifying, get it squared off, he can really start being a consistent contender.
Yeah.
Basically me just echoing what you've said.
It's all good. Yeah, well and truly, and having now, obviously you've discussed Kanga, we discussed Giordano earlier, 2018 driver market. Both DS and Franklin with a seat free. Kanga, surely he'll remain at DS Mastershore. However, the press release that confirmed Adrian Simon, if you cover anything that happens on track, I will find it a second.
Okay. Zazzotti is going around a corner. Now Hutchinson's going around the same corner, but a bit behind him. And he's going around another one.
I said exciting.
That's exciting stuff, Bradley, I'll have you know. How dare you? How dare you belittle these guys?
I found it. You can give up.
I can shut up now, basically. I've never been told to shut up in such a subtle way.
Well, that's just the kind of thoughtful person I am.
Just read the damn thing.
Okay, so we had, as part of the statement that Arthur Lapierre released for the DS National team, stated, at the moment we are looking at 4 drivers to fill the second seat, including Ala. He's been good this year, but we want to secure a top-line driver to partner Adrian. We're very serious about winning the 2018 title. Now,
ambitious.
That seems to indicate to me that they don't think Ala Kanga is a top-line driver down at DS Mastershore.
So you could take that from that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm feeling that as well, that they're not feeling overly confident in Ala, but you could take it in the form of, okay, let's raise the bar for him a little bit and see if he can rise to the challenge. Because if he can rise to that challenge, then, well, he's definitely a top-line driver for them to keep. So it'd be interesting to see how it plays out, but I'd like to know who the other 3 drivers are as well.
Yeah, I certainly will. Well, I mean, maybe we can deduce this. If they're looking at top line drivers, who have we got?
Ooh.
Kanga then makes his mark and he's passed Enrique Ruiz for 8th place.
Yeah, that was that kind of just came out of nowhere. Down the inside as well, which has proven to be quite tricky to do.
Maybe,
but,
hearing our conversation, Kanga is determined to prove he is a top line driver.
Well, to get yourself past Ruiz, even in a slightly better car, is no mean feat.
Absolutely.
And this is really not helping Franklin in the constructors. Obviously, they've got a nice cushy back gap back to Westwood. And first,
yes, I do love those gap backs.
Huh?
No.
Good one.
No.
Moving on very swiftly. First are set to gain a lot of points on both Westwood and Franklin, so they could just launch themselves right back in the fight.
Yeah, they could indeed. They lost out a little bit last time at Silverstone, didn't they, I believe?
They did. They lost
if memory
something like
serves
2 points.
correctly.
Westwood seems to be faster than the North Star in the middle sector because he closes up and then they get up to Radion and he's just lost a bunch of ground again, which is odd. Things like Westwood bragged about bringing a new engine upgrade this weekend. Look at Kanga go, he's just dropped Ruiz and left him for dead.
He has rather, hasn't he? So Alar Kanga then, determined to get himself into this scrap for 5th place.
Yeah.
And we've already seen him pull off a number of impressive overtakes, including 2 at 1. I wonder if he can do 3 in 1, as Alexander Zolia is now right up under the rear wing of Lewis Ellington for 3rd.
Darn. That's rather ambitious, fam.
Beckenbauer was past Hutchinson somewhere. This is on board with Alar Kanga then, down the inside of Ruiz. I do believe he's the only one we've seen pull off an overtake on the inside of Leclerc.
He is.
And this is just a second ago. Carl Beckenbauer becomes the second man to pull off an overtake into the inside of Leclerc.
And now he's already breaking away. Yeah, I think that's going to help unleash a little bit of pace out of that North Star.
Yeah, it will be interesting. I mean, we saw last race the North Star showed pace in the hands of Alexei Norsinki before he was rather abruptly dropped.
Yeah, he had a really good sort of result and then kind of just got ditched by the team, which is a bit of a shame, really.
Very rare do you find a driver ditched after their best ever. Well, actually, it's happened twice now this year, hasn't it?
it sort of has, I was about to say.
But yeah, usually, very rarely do you see a driver ditched after their best result. However, that hasn't happened here. I don't think it was necessarily a bad call from North Star, as Beckenbauer in 5th place and their other driver, who has been at the team since they started last year, Justin Sykes, is 13th and Beckenbauer is up in 5th.
Yes.
And let's be fair, Beckenbauer has completely outclassed Sykes all weekend.
I mean, yeah, he's just made Sykes look like a complete Sunday driver. Kanga is right on the back of these 3 now, looking ominous in their mirrors.
So that's certainly going to be a fight to keep an eye on then. But just going back to talk of 2018 then, who else would we class as top line drivers that we think DS Matchall may potentially be looking at that we know are not currently signed?
I don't think there's very many.
I mean, there's been no announcement on either of Downton's drivers. However, there are strong rumours in the paddock to indicate they're both going to be kept on. I think it would be a huge surprise if they weren't.
Well, I believe Klaas is under contract to remain.
Is he?
I'm not sure. I thought I could have that mistaken.
Right, don't. There's been nothing official confirmed.
Well, it's yeah.
But moving away from Downton drivers, I think probably the biggest one for me would be Will Hoskins.
Well, Hoskins would be a good target.
You know, currently without a contract for next season.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, full guy.
Who else have we got? Just bear with me a second. I mean, obviously we've got Ruiz, not yet contracted, though, as you say, we believe he will probably stay at Franklin.
Yeah, I mean,
Elroy Wagner. You've gone quiet on me.
Have I?
Yes. I said Elroy Wagner.
Yeah, he's a dude. Is he not under contract?
He's not, no. Oh, there's contact! Contact between Lewis Ellington and one of the Ocelots.
Schneider makes a nice move on Dwyer there for 10th place.
Ooh, yeah, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
There's Jochen van Snelheid then, getting in the way slightly.
You could say that, Bradley.
Of Lewis Ellington and Alexander Zolia. However, he has now moved aside and has been cleared and lapped. And the battle for third can resume. Hopefully, Ellington didn't pick up any damage from that. The small touch they had there.
We'll find out when they pass the pits.
Yeah, he's certainly not lost any time.
No.
But yeah, you know, he's another guy who doesn't have a contract currently for next year. Lewis Ellington, and I think his performances this year for Holmqvist. I mean, last year he really let himself down at AMR. But his performances this year at Holmqvist may just be putting him back into the shop window of a few teams.
They do seem to be something of like a redemption. He's definitely been almighty this year from the second he set foot in that Holmqvist. Proven by the fact that he's again challenging for a podium.
Absolutely, I think, you know, and perfect timing. This man as well, Hugh Dwyer, his teammate. However, I do believe Dwyer has a contract for next season already.
I can't say I know, if I'm honest.
Ah, well, there you go, see.
Kanga are almost getting a look up the inside of Timo Kinnaman, but thinks better of it.
Yeah, and they're now just putting the lap on Jochen van Snelheid as well. So, I think that just goes to show how close now these... Oh, as Ruiz gets put onto the outside of Rivage by the Ocelot. They won't be appreciating that, their technical partners.
Not particularly.
But yeah, I think that just goes to show now how close that gaggle of 5th to 9th is to these two, Ellington and Zolia, 3rd and 4th.
Yeah,
we only have 10 laps to go here. However, wow, Beckenbauer, as you saw there, now right nearly with them. Only a couple of seconds back down the road.
Yeah, so these guys have really got to drop the hammer while the guys in front of them are going to be just desperately clinging on. Obviously their tyres are getting quite old now. On both fronts. Oh, Powell's in the pits early.
Yeah, well, and I think after his early stop last time out, that's no great surprise. Will he manage to get out this time ahead of Ellington and Zolia, though? That is what he'll be aiming for.
No, he won't.
I don't think he's going to, no.
Actually, you know what? No, he won't. So he's going to have to fight past them, maybe?
Or is he?
That Downton's got really good straight line speed, don't forget.
Oh, he's got Zolia, but not quite Ellington.
That's alright, he'll just manage Ellington on the Camel Straight.
He's had to back out around Eau Rouge.
Just getting a little bit caught out by those cold tyres nearly, I think.
Yeah, and I think
goes defensive, and I think oh, Zolia's going to try and follow Powers through, is he?
I don't know. Powers hasn't got the move done yet. The engine not quite strong enough, but he goes through around the outside, and Zazolio does follow him.
Oh, that was some beautiful opportunistic stuff, and that's put the soft runners right on the back of him now.
Yeah, it certainly has. That has cost both Zazolio and Ellington a huge amount of time, and Carl Beckenbauer is now breathing down the neck of the pair of them in desperate search of his first podium in quite a while, and North Star's first ever.
Yeah, and I think if there's a guy who's going to manage it, it's obviously going to be him. And here's a replay on board with Zazolio. He just saw the opportunity unfolding and thought, I'm going to have you.
Jeez, I tell you, if that wasn't contact there between, well, Powers and Ellington and Zazolio and Ellington, then it was as close as you're going to get without doing so.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a reason these guys are paid the big bucks to be out on track. It isn't easy, but they're all very impressive at what they do, really, except for some. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so Carl Beckenbauer's last podium was in Portugal 2015.
Wow.
Quite a while ago. Oh,
Hutchinson's
that'll be Hutchinson pitting.
Be in the pits. Now then, will he be able to gain on the undercut? We've seen it work for this race.
Beckenbauer is in as well. So both Beckenbauer and Hutchinson in at the same time. Kinnaman now then needs to get his foot down.
Yeah, he's gone for the overcut, which is a strange choice. Because you'd imagine having fresher tyres at the end of this race isn't too much of a big deal. So
yeah, probably not. Disappointingly for Westwood there, Finn Schneider wasn't quite close enough to be able to hold those two up in the pits.
No, he could have just forced them to be held for a second or more, but
yeah, which would have massively aided Kinnaman. But Kinnaman's going to have to do it on his own now. Beckenbauer has come out ahead of Hutchinson still though, as Schneider feeds back out behind Wagner, who is going to have to hit again anyway.
Absolutely, wow. Look at that speed difference.
Oh, that's the fresh tyres, isn't it? He's just got so much more grip.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see both Schneider and Dwyer fly past the German here. They're going for the inside line. Schneider's already through before the corner. Dwyer is going to follow him.
Looked pretty textbook there from the guys, to be honest. So Schneider holds his point scoring position.
Yes, he does indeed.
Kinnaman doesn't look like he's pumping in a good time this lap. He almost looks to be struggling on his tyres, if I'm honest.
Well, they are quite worn now, aren't they? And we've seen, you know, as Klaas pits from the lead then, that he will resume. Unless it was somehow a really, really long stop. Well, in fact, look how close Powers is.
Oh, hello.
Powers with a 55.2 crosses the line as Klaas exits the pit lane. Powers exits La Source. And, wow, Nathaniel has certainly gained an awful lot of time following his incident earlier. Kangaroo and Reese continue. Kinnaman has pitted, and I think he might lose out to both of these guys here.
He's lost a lot of time there.
And staying out a lap longer has not worked at all for Timo Kinnaman, and therefore I don't think it will either for Zazolio and Ellington.
No, but then obviously they've got the mediums on, and their teams will be telling them to get to a certain lap.
Oh, and that will be a pit stop.
That's held up Jonathan Sykes ever so slightly.
Yeah, not that it matters massively. He's 14th and not really battling for anything, unfortunately.
Sadly, yeah.
But yeah, well, I don't think Zazolio and Ellington do need to go to a certain lap. I mean, there's only 7 left. I'm sure the mediums would last 7, seeing as they went, what, 20?
Can you be sure, Bradley? Can you be sure?
Yes, very.
Okay.
So yeah, they're only going to be out there on slow, worn mediums, and this is going to be massively costing them. I think Carl Beckenbauer now looks a very, very solid bet indeed for North Star's first podium.
He does indeed. I mean, he's put in a fantastic drive so far. And with the guys in front of him that have to pit, and him getting the undercut by a couple of laps, is going to do the trick probably.
Certainly will, as in comes Nikolai Milkovic then, from 23rd.
Yeah. That guy. Okay, so Zolia and...
Right, Kanga pits then from 5th place. There's Ruiz. I was going to say, he was hidden by the pit wall.
Oh, look at how much time they've lost to these three.
Oh yeah, absolutely masses as Beckenbauer once again laps Jochen van Snelheid. This time the Dutchman gets out of the way.
That's always nice of him.
And yeah, they have. I think that's put Kanga and Ruiz well out of this fight. And Ruiz is actually surely going to come under a little bit of pressure from Schneider and Dwyer, who are not that far behind. And you have to say, both the Westwood and the Holmqvist have looked quicker in this race.
Yeah, obviously they came from a bit further back in the grid, and they've just been pumping in so many good lap times, and well, now they're both in a position to hopefully score some points.
Yeah, as actually, you know, that was a cracking job from Jochen there to move out of the way of Hutchinson and Kinnaman. Credit where it's due.
Yeah, he did a decent job this time.
As considering Kinnaman lost a lot of time in the pits, he's closed it back up pretty quickly.
Yeah, but we've seen the Westwood is a lot more on it out of the pits, so I think that car is just better at heating up the tyres, but we've noticed the pace drop off at the end of the stint a little bit.
Could be, but the end of the stint where I don't think we're going to get to this time round, so Kinnaman has to absolutely make the most of this, but
Yeah,
Beckenbauer is up the road.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to touch Beckenbauer, unfortunately. We still haven't seen a pit stop from Ellington and Zolia, so we've got to see it this lap, really.
Yeah, surely they're... well, I mean, they could try and hang on.
I wouldn't. I really wouldn't.
No, I don't think I would either.
I mean, that'd be 25 laps.
It'd be brave at best.
There's a saying I learned when I was younger, and that's the line between bravery and stupidity is very thin.
It is. Very thin indeed, and in fact they're both in the pits.
Yeah, they've lost those places.
And therefore, Carl Beckenbauer, in his first race for North Star, moves in to 3rd place. He's got as well a fairly decent gap behind him back to Arden Hutchinson. Zolia and Ellington have lost out to Alar Kanga, who with some fantastic laps has managed to put the two medium runners between himself and Ruiz.
Yeah. He's just done... Sorry, I wasn't paying attention, I tried.
No, that's fine. Kanga is up into 6th place. That's been a fine drive by the Estonian thus far.
Yeah, it has. Give him credit for that.
Qualified 9th, started 14th, up to 6th.
Fair play, you know.
Solid job.
And
with the minimum of retirements, only his teammate has vanished from in front of him.
Yeah. That's the other point I suppose we've got to raise, is that Beckenbauer, obviously Simon was arguably in the podium position, but Beckenbauer has only gained 1 place from retirements. The rest has been all him in the car.
Absolutely. Having said that, Simon was behind Hutchinson.
Oh.
Was he not early on?
He was actually, yeah, you're right. So I think Beckenbauer's just done this on merit.
I reckon he has his powers then. Still not massively far behind Klaas van Snelheid, but he's absolutely not catching anywhere near quick enough. Wow, that shows the gap, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Powers is just exiting La Source while Beckenbauer's still coming around Blanchimont.
I don't think there's any doubt in anyone's mind as to the order of the podium.
Right, we've got 5 laps yet. Anything can happen.
Sure. Kanga's oh wait. Kanga's there.
Yeah.
Kanga's just caught right up to these two, so we could yet see a good scrap for 4th place.
Now,
Maybe
let's not forget,
Kanga
Kanga pitted a couple of laps later than all of those guys in front of him.
Yeah.
If he'd pitted earlier or on the same lap, where could he be now?
Probably be on the podium, and he's going to be ruining that mistake. But there's just sometimes you just make mistakes in your strategy, and you've just got to try and make up for it on the track.
Yeah, although I absolutely don't think he or the team will be that disappointed with the drive that he's put in so far today.
Oh, definitely not.
But as everyone now then has made, I believe, their final pit stop.
Yeah, and now it's just a case of a sprint to the finish.
Yeah, it certainly is. So we've got Klaas van Snelheid leading from Nathaniel Powers. Carl Beckenbauer is third and looks on course. Trust me, I'm touching wood, not that kind, wood here in the commentary box.
Oh,
for just for good luck here for Carl Beckenbauer. Hutchinson is fourth, Kinnaman fifth, Kanga running sixth ahead of Zazolia and Ellington, the two highest placed medium runners. Enrique Ruiz and Finn Schneider currently rounding out the top 10. But this is the closest battle on track. It's fourth place. Hutchinson leads it from Kinnaman. Kanga. Zazolia isn't that far back as well. And I wonder if we're going to see a change of position here at all. Kinnaman is absolutely desperate to take that place.
Yeah, obviously he's got to try and put a car between himself and Kanga, because that DS Mapashaw is much quicker than that Westwood.
As Ruiz also closing in on Lewis Ellington, who is, let's not forget, on the medium tyres. So Ruiz does have a tyre and car advantage.
Yeah, he does actually. Well, yeah, he does. So Ruiz has got 3 or 4 laps to stick one up the inside. Kinnaman might have a move on here. Nope.
No, Hutchinson has very cleverly covered the outside line.
Yeah. And, no driver wants to see. Kinnaman now is thinking, if he can't get an overtake off where he can definitely secure the place, he's going to lose too much time and lose a place to Kanga.
Yeah, and that's something he absolutely does not want to do, is better holding on to fifth here than...
Yeah, at the end of the day, there's 2 points in it.
Yeah, be nice to gain 2 points, but not the end of the world. Losing 2 points wouldn't be the best, however. Especially as though he potentially could lose 4 points, and 2 of them to Zazolia, who is in the first team that Westwood are battling.
Yeah, obviously it's still quite a tight battle between those two. I think 15 points in it. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's very close. So once again, he looks very close coming into this final sector. Very close, in fact. He might be able to launch a move up the inside of the bus stop chicane, but he doesn't.
No, Kanga right with them as well then, so we absolutely have 3, 4, nose to tail through the bus stop chicane then for fourth place as we head into the final 3 laps of this race. It's not been the most thrilling, but we've had some good action here and there, and some fantastic overtakes as well.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's been interspersed with some great action. Just on the whole, it's not been as exciting as other races, I'll have to admit.
Shall we just? I know we've got 3 laps to go, and we've got potentially an overtake. Kinnaman right up behind Hutchinson's rear wing. Is he going to try anything? He's not, no.
He's got to get a better run out of last source, otherwise he's not going to make the move, and he's probably missed the window now.
Yeah, very possibly. The tyres will have bedded in now, and I think Hutchinson's probably going to be able to hold on. But, well, we'll wait and see. I don't think Kinnaman's going to give this one up. Kanga likewise.
You can see they're definitely still piling on the pace, because they're starting to lose Zazolia a little bit.
Yeah, but having said that, Ellington and Ruiz look as though they're ever so slightly catching up to this group. But all of this is massively helping and aiding Carl Beckenbauer.
Yeah, I mean, Carl's just going to be, wondering when getting podiums became so easy.
He certainly will, and North Star, I should imagine they'll be the team members will be sat on the pit wall chewing their fingernails, but
I'd be
the
amazed if
fact
they got
that
any
they're
left.
not in this gaggle will definitely be easing their heart rate slightly.
It's not easing mine.
Well, no, but you're in it.
Exactly. Still will not make a move up the inside, Kinnaman. Must be just, unless the team just told him to try and hold station.
I think it's just the fact of, as you said earlier, if he's going to make a move, he wants it to be clear and easy. He doesn't want to risk anything. At the moment, there are 10 points on the table.
This looks.
If he
quite
clattered into
good.
the side of Hutchinson and lost those 10 points, but Hutchinson was able to continue, that would be a huge blow.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, smoke! Smoke! And that is Lewis Ellington then.
Oh no. Hopefully he can hang on.
Well, we'll certainly see. It's only as
Kinnaman's
down
going for a
the
move
inside
on the
of Martin
inside.
Hutchinson into Lacombe. Has he done it? He
He's taken
has.
the
Kinnaman
place.
is up to 4,
Oh.
and Hutchinson is now coming under severe pressure from Kanga. Everyone is closed up. As Zazolia now is trying to have a look at Kanga. Kanga locks up on the right front.
Oh wow, that was.
Ruiz is past Ellington.
Yeah, so Ellington's obviously going to start losing power now, probably.
Yeah, massively, and that could help Schneider gain another place as well.
Schneider's been really impressive in this last thing. He's almost within striking distance of the pack in front, but he's not got long to make the most of it.
He certainly has, and that was a beautiful, and as we were saying, well-timed and calculated move from Timo Kinnaman. He
Yeah, and
made
he's
it
just
at the
disappeared up the
exact...
road as well.
Sorry?
I said he's just disappearing up the road as well.
Yeah, he certainly has. He made it at the exact moment that gave him the best chance of getting through without any contact.
Yeah, obviously that's the kind of calculated driving we've been used to seeing from Timo.
As Kanga, closing all the time on Hutchinson. As they head
gonna
now
pull
down
to the
into the bus
inside.
stop chicane, he's not going to dive down the inside. It's not something we've seen at all here. And, but surely this will give Kanga a chance. He's got to try and make the move on the final lap now that we now head into. As Christ, we've got a battle for fifth place on the final lap.
But we've got a battle for all sorts of places, Bradley.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean, but they're all in this train for fifth.
This is brilliant. Obviously, I know that we said that the race hasn't been that thrilling, but the end has been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, typical. Just as we get all the action, the checkered flag is going to fly, isn't it? What a shame.
Yeah.
But what an end
let's
to
see
this
what
race
Kanga
we're going to
can
get.
do.
Ala Kanga. Now, this has to be where he's going to take the opportunity. He's in the slipstream of Martin Hutchinson. Is he going to dive to the inside or the out at Lacombe?
No.
He's not. No, Kanga is not going to make the move. He will have chances later in the lap, but it's not something we've seen. Although, well, we've seen from the rookies this season, they don't stick to the rules on overtaking.
Absolutely not. They like to make up their own rules when it comes to overtakes.
They certainly do. Who's this?
There's Sykes.
Oh, that's Judson Sykes. And that's Sykes retiring. Unfortunately for
Might
North
wanna
Star,
pull
he
a
wasn't
little bit.
running in the points anyway, but they'll be grateful it's him and not the car that's currently running third. However, Klaas van Snelheid then, with just the bus stop chicane to go, he's going to exit that. He benefited from a collision his teammate had with Adrian Simon, but take nothing away. Klaas wins his 4th race, and that is a new record then for Downton, who take their 8th consecutive victory in Formula Work Virtual, breaking the record previously held by Franklin. Well, that's incredible. Klaas has also joined now top on the record list of drivers to take 4 victories in their rookie season. One more and he will hold that on his own. But this is surely going to be the story of today. Carl Beckenbauer rounds the bus stop chicane. He will exit it and he will cross the line to take North Star's first podium. Beckenbauer, what a beautiful drive and what a way to thank the team for taking him on halfway through the season. The rest of the field hold on as they were. Kinnaman 4th, Hutchinson 5th, Kanga 6th, Zazola, he tried a late move but it didn't pay off, is 7th, Ruiz 8th, and Ellington did make it to the line in 9th. Finn Schneider rounds out the point scorers in 10th.
Wow, is all I can say to that. That's the kind of racing we like to see. Obviously, we like to see it throughout the whole race, but when it just becomes such a nail-biting occasion at the end of the race.
Yeah, what a fantastic conclusion we've had here. And brilliant drive from Beckenbauer, brilliant work from North Star, their first podium.
Yeah, and they'll be cracking open the champagne tonight because this is like a race victory for them. Having come actually out of nowhere in the last few races.
Yeah, absolutely. On the subject of race victories, Class has taken today. Both him and Powers now have 4th of the season. And Downton, 8 wins in a row.
I mean, they're just unstoppable this year. They absolutely are.
Absolutely incredible.
Everything together.
Class then extends his championship lead with that victory here in Belgium, courtesy of, well, he was aided by the collision between Powers and Simon, but it's Klaas van Snelheid who wins here today. So Klaas van Snelheid's 4th win of the season then gives Downton their 8th consecutive victory, a new record, and with Nathaniel Powers 2nd, it's their 5th 1-2 of the season in 10 races. That is also a new record. Carl Beckenbauer 3rd. It's North Star's first ever podium and his first in 38 races, while a brilliant drive for Al Kanga nets him 6th place in the Drivers' Championship. Class now leads them by 16 points over Nathaniel Powers. Simon's second retirement in 3 races sees him slip to 70 behind, while Hutchinson is up to 4th past Ruiz. Tumo Kinnaman's great result and late overtake has moved him up into 6th place in the championship. Carl Beckenbauer's first points of the year. He scores 15 of them for that podium, and he has jumped up 9 positions in the Drivers' Championship. Surely he'll only climb higher. In the Constructors, Downton now lead by 161 over DS Mathshore, as the rest are status quo. Westwood now only 3 behind Franklin. But that's all from our race here today in Belgium. So from both me and Harry, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time for round 11 from Monza, Italy.